And it's time for our Ask Max portion of the day. Always a makes for a wonderful conversation. Today's letter asks, what would the world look like if Donald Trump becomes president? What a question.
I can hear the people saying, "Oh Lord, oh Lord." I can
Pack
hear
your
it.
bags. We going to you know where.
Yeah. Don't say nothing to me. We're gonna fight all the way across this water.
um, I think the world would be a scary place personally. It worries me if Donald Trump becomes president. I have watched some of the debates and just in general listen to the news and the different things that he has to say. And so you guys have heard all the same things that I have, whether he doesn't want refugees or immigrants or what have you here. Whether he's building walls, whether he's talking about shooting people or lying and people would still believe him or something like that. I've seen where he's had I think it was two Muslims who stood up during one of his...
The ladies.
I think it was a male and female. I'm not sure, though. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. But he had them escorted out of one of his campaigns. I've heard people say how he has no position. He does a lot of talking, but he just spouts things. He has no real position at all. I've heard that he flip flops from one position to the other.
Oh, he definitely does that.
And so
remember when he was calling the woman ugly? Then the next time they had a presidential race, I think she's
Carla.
a beautiful woman.
Yeah. That was so sarcastic. That was so. Yeah, you definitely knew there was no sincere apology there.
Talk about Jeb Bush's wife.
Yeah.
2 feet from him.
And he's always bashing the other candidates. And that's a character that I don't know about anybody else, but I don't want that as president. When you talk about the way a person looks, the way they act, whether they're boring, has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Why are we talking about, why are you bashing people in the way that you are? Definitely not a character of someone that I want running the country that I live in.
Jeb Bush's character too, because I mean, man, 3 feet away from you talking about your wife. I know dudes that won't fight no other time. That'll tear the roof off the building behind their woman. Shoot.
Yeah, but I think Donald Trump is a piece of work, and I think that it would be a scary place, and I'm actually hoping that he does not become president. And I've heard many people say, and I think President Obama said, Donald Trump will not be president of the United States. I think, he's a businessman, and he has a lot of business bravado, and I feel like that's what he's using as his tactic. He's trying to sell himself, and of course, that's what candidates have to do. But, he's on another level here because of all of his business experience of trying to sell himself to the American people. And
we just call it the pipe dream.
And I look at him sometimes and think, who would support that? But people do. And I'm assuming it's rich people or people that like that he just goes off the cuff and says what he has to say. And it doesn't matter who he offends or who takes issue with it. But,
he's a sideshow.
In my own humble opinion. And then you wonder, I know I'm jumping around, listeners, but you wonder whether or not are you really running for president here? Like, or it's just a way that you found to spend some of your time, because people do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll do things that, it doesn't really matter if I win, but
Ross
it's something
Perot
that I'd
used to
like
do
to
it.
do. It's something, it gives me a chance to say what I have to say, allows me to mix things up a bit, and so I'm going to do it for the heck of it. But in my humble opinion, I'm going to give you my answer now. I believe that having Donald Trump as president would be a very bad thing for the United States of America. Things will only get worse, from here. And I am hoping that he does not become president. He does not have my vote. How about, listen, now I'm bracing myself, and you guys should too, okay? Because I'm about to ask
clear my throat for this one.
I'm getting ready to ask Razor, what does he think?
If Donald Trump become president, take your money out the banks, hide your kids, hide your wife. I'm just playing. Look, no, I'm with Obama. He won't become president, and this is for the two reasons. And that's because, one, he's talking about the Hispanic community, And 2, he's talking about people who are considered gay and lesbian, transgender, all that. That's not a race. You're talking about a group of people that covers a wide spectrum across the world. You know what I'm saying? And even if I'm not gay myself, let's say my brother or sister is, I'm not gonna let you do anything that harms them. So there's no way he can become president. He picked the wrong 2 fights to get into. And then the people, if you really look at it, the people that supporting Donald Trump are a small minority. The people that really have money, the real shot callers that can get all this airplay and own businesses over in other lands where they can hide their money in Swiss bank accounts, that number's small. And because of our forefathers, they only have 1 vote. Now, they may do their little trickery and, down Florida and all this, that, and other, but that was against African-American people that they were doing to low-income people. Being Hispanic or being gay does not dictate your financial classification. So we don't even have to worry about that. So just sit back, enjoy the show, get some popcorn. You know what I'm saying? And pretty soon this will be a distant memory.
I agree with you that the people that are on Donald Trump's level, if you will, that support him are very few, but he just won South Carolina. So somebody out
listen
there,
to what you just said.
Somebody out there believes in this man.
South Carolina.
I know.
About to get our country back. About to get it back.
Didn't I tell y'all?
Yeah, I mean, what is you really talking about? So we talking about South Carolina in the big scope of things. You're going to lose some battles to win the war. Like, do you really care? I mean, with South Carolina, like, do you really care?
What about, did you hear where he took issue with the Pope? The Pope is catching a lot of flack for getting into politics, and they're saying, people are saying it. I thought there was a separation between church and state, but he said that he was not a Christian because anybody who wants to build walls is not a Christian. What do you think about that?
This is the thing. I try not to get into religious talks too much unless I've had my orange juice, because you sometimes you got to dig in and argue. But I mean, think about it. You have people like the Ku Klux Klan. They claim to be Christians, but one of the most divided sectors in our world is church. Black churches over here, white churches over there. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at that and you say, okay, he's not a Christian because this is what he does. A lot of people have done a lot of things to other races and claim Christianity or high power all along the way. So at that point, you can't be judging either. You know what I'm saying? But the world has got so, and I'm not talking about the Pope, and Lord knows, please don't nobody drive over here with a little glass bubble in your car, because, we're going to give you what you're looking for. But what I am saying is that, in the big scope of things, you still can't judge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. But the thing about it is that I always, you never get the full story when you listen to the different things that the media has to say.
That's right.
And my thing is this. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the comment. I need to know more information, like in what context he said it, because you don't judge the heart of a man. That's none of our responsibilities, but you do judge the actions of a man.
Right.
And so
willing to wait for him to build that wall for you judge him?
No. What I'm saying is that I think that Donald Trump has done and said enough for us to be able to make a reasonable opinion about
I'm in agreement
whether or not he is a true follower according to Christianity or what have you, and whether he isn't. Because you judge the actions of a man, and I think he's said and done enough for us to be able to know the difference between the two.
I'm gonna jump out on a limb and say what you can't say, and there is nothing that I see that says Christianity when I look at Donald Trump, from his hairpiece.
Now, what does hairpiece got to do with the man's Christianity?
Look, you supposed to.
Jesus did not.
When you try to say Jesus had a hairpiece, my man had hair like wool. That's strong, defiant. Hot comb hair.
But no, I agree with you there. We definitely agree on that page, is that he doesn't. I don't see anything that resembles Christian.
Nah.
I'm not too far away from the Pope's opinion. And so, that's that. So that's the answer. Is there anything else that we not answer?
I don't know
anything?
if we answered it. I think they just as confused as when they wrote the letter. Like I said, hide your money, underneath the bed, get your kids,
You're listening to In My Humble Opinion on 101.3. What else do you do? You go to commercial when you got Razor talking.
Yeah.
So you're listening to In My Humble Opinion on 101.3 Jams, WVAI Radio. Stay tuned, people.
Keep
Great
them letters
conversation.
coming in.